everybody, happy Saturday. As you can hear, the animals are all having a fit. The cows are really excited because today is the day we are putting them outside on the pasture. Yeah. So we've laid out a small area, a test run area over here in the neighbor's field, and we'll talk about that after we get the cows moved. So it's a little test run area, and we have our electric fence all set up, and ideally we're gonna open the gate to let them in where the rams are, and then open the rams gate here. And then we're gonna come over here and go directly down the barn, cross the road, and into the field. Okay, fingers crossed. Harley is going to videotape and try to
not make this a flat potato.
Yeah, our Frenchie. She's not real smart. She might get run over. But Harley's going to videotape so that you guys can see how this goes. Hope it's smooth for me, guys. Please. It's just the three of us home right now, and I don't want to do dumb ways to die. Because the cows are always super spunky when they get to go out on pasture for the first time. So they're going to be bucking and kicking and having a great time. And we're just going to try to stay out of the way. So, without further ado, let's get these noisy animals taken care of.
There they go. I've got the Frenchie. Girl. Better than I expected.
That was actually beautiful. Hold on, I gotta go pick these up. Wind this one up a little bit more over here. Hey guys, it's officially summer season, even though it's not really summer.
Spring.
So, let me have this. Okay, so what we have for our cows is just step-in posts. I did a video on this before, I'll do it again. Step-in posts, and then I tie it off to this, see, here, and here. And the spool can just sit on the ground as long as it doesn't ground out on this metal bit, okay? So, the ground for the solar zapper, almost fell over, which isn't even tight. Okay. The ground comes out of the zapper and just goes into the bottom of this step-in post to the metal, which might not be like the best ground, but it's still a ground. And then the hot wire comes back up here to that. And then to use as the gate, what you saw me do, I just come back around and I tether it at the top one, and I go down here and I move it back over. So this actually functions as a gate. So this part can be opened. So let's see what we're hitting at. I gotta terribly duct tape this thing together because it's just falling apart left and right, but. Okay, so we're at 5,000 volts, which is way acceptable for these girls. They understand the fence. They know what it is.
They're happy.
Yeah, so I'll introduce you to our girls really quickly for those that are new here. This is Bessie. She's a 42-inch mini kind of. She was the first heifer we got, and she's just an abomination kind of. So she's just kind of here to just live out her days. This one here is Hazelnut. She is an Angus Jersey cross. And this back here is Mocha, and she is our Jersey girl, which is so funny because the dairy cow is literally fatter than everybody else. But whatever, we won't talk about that, will we, Mocha? So these are our girls, and they are 2 years old. It's hard to believe already. We haven't bred them yet because my husband was uncomfortable keeping a bull, and then last summer we were supposed to borrow a bull from somebody, and literally the day that we were supposed to go pick him up, they turned him out to pasture with their cows and apologized and said that it was time for them to do their breeding, even though it was like early for them. So we didn't manage to get them bred last year. And AI is something that we've considered, but it's not really something that we wanted to really get into because there's a whole thing that you have to go through, and sometimes they don't really have a great success rate, and then you have to have it done over and over again. And I've heard good and I've heard bad, and it just wasn't something that we felt like we were going to get into. So we bought a little bull calf. He's a bottle calf named Tony. My husband, you know, again, he hadn't been bred up on a farm and stuff, so he wasn't really used to bulls, and he had a bad experience with a bull and said the only way he felt comfortable with us having one is if we raised it from a calf. So that's what we're doing. So Tony hopefully will be able to service these girls later in the year. But for now, they're just going to go out on pasture and eat and be fat and sassy. Okay, now I really quickly wanted to talk to you about, I said on our neighbor's property, which this is our neighbor's property. It is part of the original farm. So our farm that we live on, our 10 acres, was part of this whole original farm, which was 116 total. So the field stretches across the road here from our place. Being as how we are working with a farmer down the road who has let us use 100 acres to bale or graze or do whatever we wanted, I thought it wouldn't hurt to ask our neighbors if they would mind us grazing our cows over here before we move them down the road to the big farm. My thought was it would get all the spunk out of them. They would be calm and relaxed by the time we walk them down the road, because I'll be walking them probably close to 2 miles. And yeah, I mean, you probably could trailer them, but the road going up to the field that we're going to pasture them in is just, it's not conducive for a trailer, a stock trailer, to go up. So walking them is what I've chosen to do. Call me crazy. That's fine. So I threw it out there and I asked my neighbor. I wasn't sure, like totally was prepared for them to say no, you know, because having livestock isn't something that they do or care to do. So I really wasn't sure, you know, how they would receive the idea. We did offer them, you know, a butcher pig to fill their freezer. And she actually just said that she would prefer, you know, she said Meals on Wheels. So I will be hooking her up with some really great home cooked some food whenever she wants it. But that was, you know, all that it took for us to be able to graze our cows. Now, it helps that we don't use a static fencing situation. It helps that this entire thing can be moved 5 minutes, done, out of their field. That's very appealing. It's very appealing that we just graze the tops of this grass. You're never going to see ground here. This is going to just, the tops is going to be moved off. Tomorrow they're going to be on a new section. This is going to grow up. This field is going to be fertilized with all that good cow manure. And this hay is going to grow right back up super fast and beautiful. That helps. So basically what I'm getting at is if you have small acreage and you have the desire for more animals, or maybe you have more animals than what your acreage can handle, talk to the people around you. There are really great methods that you can learn from so many different people on how to efficiently move your animals and have it really, really work out well. And you'll be surprised that a lot of times when you talk to people that have acreage that aren't farming it, they're kind of open to the idea, as long as you give them something of value back, as long as you respect them as landowners, and you know, you explain your process and you tell them, hey, if you need me out, I can be gone in a minute's time, nothing static. So that's definitely something for people to think about. You know, if you only have a certain small amount of land and you want more animals, as long as you're educated and you understand how to handle these animals, it's a great option. So we're really happy to have our girls out. I know they're very happy to be out. Their pen had gotten super muddy with all the rain that we had, and now it was finally drying out, but you know, it's not a great situation for them in the winter when they have to come in. And you know, they don't really prefer to be under roof where their bedding pack is. They prefer to be out getting air, fresh air. So, you know, they'll be out in the mud. And we're gonna try to come up with a better solution. Maybe put in some ag towels this fall for their winter paddock, because I just really didn't love the way that they were this year. So we're gonna look into some different scenarios before next winter. So we have some time. But for now, they're happy cows, and that makes me a happy girl. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get them some water, and I will show you how we do that too, because I mean, it's not hard, but we just have a tank on the back of the quad. But I will do that and catch back up. Okay, so Harley had a great idea. I was just gonna fill up the tank on the quad, drive it across the road, fill it up. I'm watching Hazelnut stick her nose underneath the fence. Okay, anyway, she said, Daddy got a new hose last night, why don't we just run that across the road? So it's a lot quicker. Where's it at? Straight across the road. That's why living rurally is the best. So we are just filling up their water. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna set up tomorrow's paddock, and then I'll let you guys see how we're gonna do that. And the way that this works is we run, this water will never move. We run what we call an alleyway. So each pasture will tie into a long run that will come back here, and so that they can always come to this water spot. And then the paddocks will just move. So that's how we're gonna do that. So I'll show you guys that once we get tomorrow set up, and then it'll be super easy. So we'll be back. Okay guys, we didn't set up tomorrow's pasture. We did a little bit of thinking about it and talking about it. So we are gonna move the water, and we'll just move that every day. I'm not going to do the alleyway here in this situation. I think it might just be easier since we're gonna kind of make a circle, and I'll show you too. That she's coming with me, she's fine. This area right here is what they use as a quad trail, so we don't want to block that off. So as you can see, tomorrow's fence is going to leave the quad trail open for them. Today we just put them here. It was right across the road, make it super easy. So that won't be a problem after that. So we're gonna leave this open our next move, but their quad trail kind of wraps around here and goes down. So when we get to the other side of that, back here behind me, you see that we can just use the entire area from top to bottom. So remember I said, if you get a landowner that's going to allow you to use their property, you have to respect their wishes. And we did say we would leave that open for them. So that's what we're gonna do. And tomorrow we'll just string this up real quick, and they'll walk right over. These cows are well trained to this situation, so they really know what's up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys in the next video.